Hey, folks, welcome to the Sofa Podcast. I had another podcast that was with a friend, but due to conflicting schedules and a fallout, we decided that we were going to do a separate podcast just for everyday life, what's bugging us, everything that goes on, work, friends, love life, advice, everything under the sun. And then I also have another podcast, is What the Paranormal, that I run maybe weekly. I upload personal stories, I read stories, I read scary stories, I read haunted locations. So that's on that podcast. This one, it's Halloween, so I may include some scary stories. So it just depends. I had a lot on the other podcast that, was more of, my constant mental health battle, a lot of issues with, depression and COVID. I personally suffer from a lot of mental health issues. I battle with depression. I battle with schizoaffective disorder. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have fibromyalgia. I have dissociative identity disorder. So I have a lot of things going on in my mind, which is organized chaos. I should have named that my podcast. Welcome to Organized Chaos. But I wanted this podcast to reflect everyday things, thoughts, rants, stuff like that. And hopefully, people will like the podcast. Hopefully people will, leave a review, subscribe, share. I know how difficult it is to talk to people about problems, but the one thing that I have for both of my podcasts is I have a number where if you're, having issues and you just need somebody to text no matter what, you can text the number, just say, hey, I'm a follower of your podcast. That way I know if you use podcast in the text message, I know you're a listener from either podcast, and I'm here for everybody basically. I'm a texter. I don't really talk on the phone unless it's like a dire need. Sometimes I'll talk on the phone, but majority of the time I'm a texter. So I've had a few people text me off of that number, and for them to know that there's somebody else out there that is suffering with something that they have, or that is willing to listen to them because nobody else wants to listen to them, means a lot. So I will be posting the phone number to access if you ever need to discuss something, you just want to vent, you want to, you need a friend, whatever the case may be. Just know that I am here to lend a shoulder to cry on and an ear to listen to. That's one thing that makes my podcast different. I want to say a lot of podcasts have call-in numbers or whatever the case. I like to use the number that I have for no matter what. If you send me a text message and I don't reply right away, just understand that I do work. I try to respond to texts, when I have, during work hours. I take classes at night, so just keep that in mind. But I always respond no matter what, except if I'm sleeping, because then I'm gone. But this podcast, I'm rambling. I should have named my podcast The Rambling Brook. Get it, Brooke? Never mind. I just cracked myself up. But this is going to be a catch-all podcast. So don't forget to grab yourself your favorite Starbucks. Grab yourself a bagel. Come join us on the sofa and let's have a talk. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I'm working on getting us on social media, but for right now, I'm on Snapchat, I am on Insta, I am on Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook. So I'm out there, So with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful night and stay tuned for more episodes on the Sofa Podcast with D. Good night and stay safe.